Well, hello and welcome back, everybody. Welcome to my second installment of my lawn mowing devlogs. I will start out by addressing all of the comments and questions I've received on my last video. Okay, perfect. If you'd like any of your questions answered, just leave it down in the comment section. Now that that's over, we can continue to the video. So I thought I would make the gas a little more interesting. So, background, before the United States government designed a new spout, you could pour gas out with ease. So it's time to implement the original design. So I added a particle system, so you can pour the gas out, and as you may be able to see, is the gas is purple in the sky because that's what gas looks like. I've definitely been outside. Alright, so making the simulation particles, I did eventually decide on a cube gas because I thought it was aesthetically pleasing, and it just matches the low poly look. So I'll show you a clip right here, and then now it's time to make it so it only pours when I have the thing tilted, because you know, gas doesn't just always spew out the movement system. So it kind of worked, but the problem is currently you could just walk through any object no matter what. Believe it or not, you cannot do that IRL, so the plan is to add a rigid body where the camera is. And then now I'm going to pick up the weed whacker, and then, as you may be able to see, I went a little Sonic fast there. So the problem is I added a rigid body to the camera, but then when you grab things, it also has a rigid body, so it can fall, but it just collides with itself, or you collide with the thing you're holding, but since you're holding it, it continues to be in the same place, but then the game's like, hey, I need to move away from this thing can't be inside of me, so then you just launch yourself across the map. This is a very easy fix. All I have to do is make it so it ignores the collision box of the object you are holding, just so you don't feedback loop yourself. Now that I added collision boxes, I wanted to make it so you could walk into the pine tree, but then you couldn't see anything. Because I want it still to be like, hey, there's leaves, but then obviously you walk into a tree and it's dark. So this was very easy to do, because I just went into Blender, took the model, and then solidified it, and then reversed the normals, which is a lot of fancy words of I made a plane on the inside, so it would be black so you can't see outside of it. So it makes a little more sense, like you can still go into the trees, but you can't see outside of them. Surprise, surprise, I did find a lot of unoptimized code in my grass generation. So the major problem is I was refreshing the grass mesh every single frame, no matter what. So that was like the first thing I changed, just so it only refreshed if there was something changed. The next thing is I was creating a new entire mesh every single time I would update it. So I just want to modify the current mesh so I don't create a whole new set of points. This makes so much more sense, and it makes it easier down the road for any other things. So this also sped the game up like tenfold. I found so many other bugs too, like I was dividing two values in the wrong order, so I was getting some weird scaling of the plane. So instead of like the increment distance getting smaller between the set width and the size, it was getting bigger, so everything was just broken. Believe it or not, UI is a very important element in video games, so I started displaying how much gas and damage you have above with the floating text operator, so you can look at the text from any angle and always see it, and then there's the percentage of how much gas is in there. And then after I got the display, it was really easy to implement how much gas is in the mower, because then I'll just save it and, display it. And then the next step was to add actual controls to these. So originally you would just hold it, and then no matter where it was, it would always cut the grass. But now you actually have to hold a trigger button to get it to mow, which is more realistic, because when you have your lawnmower, as if you release that, it just stops anyways. So you always have to hold the trigger. And then this also makes it easier for damage down the road, because obviously you want to be able to move your lawnmower without damaging it over the concrete. I know this is the second time I've worked on the grass in this episode, but I feel like I'm getting closer. Now there's actual long grass to look at, and then I also did a random value, so the grass moves around so it's not in straight rows, just because the straight rows just looked really weird. And then if you can look close, if you look at the edges, some of the edges aren't right. So on this left edge currently, you can see that it's fine, but then if I go all the way to the one side, is the grass no longer goes all the way to the fence. So I did fix that, so I just made it so the grass would, if it is on an edge, go straight to the edge and it never moves. And then also the fact that it only went to one side kind of lent that it wasn't offsetting properly, so I made it plus or minus instead of just plus, so it'd be more random, looks better. And then I also could get away with less grass on the screen, so it's even faster in the game. This brings us to the end of the video, so if you liked it, please like the video, or dislike it, you know, it's whatever. Subscribe, leave a comment, it would be appreciated. If you want to support me financially, please download my game Cautious Kits, link will be in the description. And then for the next video, I think I'm going to be working on some levels, so make a board that you can select different levels and then teleport to them, just so there's some more interesting things, because I kind of want to put some of my bonsai trees and all the fancy stuff into this game too, but it doesn't quite match the park theme, so look forward to that. Come back, ring the bell if you want to be notified, you know, I guess, bye.